This is the historical location of Lavazza. Here the company was founded in 1895. It was a very small grocery store. A store not only focused on coffee, but you could buy here a lot of different stuff, as for example soap, sugar, pepper, spices. So my great-grandfather decided to try to sell, to become a wholesaler. But in 1910, he decided to invest a lot of his time and not a lot of money because he was not so rich.
Coffee for Italian people is really a great tradition. At the same time, it's a very popular product. So it's not expensive, everybody likes to enjoy it because it's not just a drink, it's not just a coffee, it's absolutely something more. It's a way of staying together. If you notice, for example, it's one of the few products in food that you can indicate as my. It's difficult to say my bread, or my pasta, or my wine.
Yes.
But you say my coffee. This is my coffee.
I understand.
So it's something to you. It's like to choose a dress or shoes or glasses. It's something really that is in our personality.
It became one of the most famous bars in the world due to Frank Mayer, who was the bartender, who had an enormous respect in the world of bars. Slowly became the Ritz bar, to certain people the Cambon bar, but women weren't allowed in the bar. Until 1921, all of a sudden you have prohibition. It's completely forbidden to go to a bar for everybody, and that's why all the gentlemen start wanting to take their lady wives into bars. And that's where you get all these cocktails that are a little bit osé, like Virgin's Prayer, Slippery Nipple, all these things, because these gentlemen wanted to shock the ladies that were coming into the bar. And then you have this counter-revolution with the journalists, people like Hemingway, Fitzgerald. Then you have Bertin, he's dominating this bar. In fact, some people call it the Bertin bar.
I know you must have some originals that you've incorporated into the Hemingway.
The serendipity, when you find what you've always been looking for without knowing that you were looking for it. And it's Calvados, 1/10 in a tall tumbler glass, fresh mint, just a teaspoon of sugar, then you mix it just slightly, like that. It's actually almost cooking in there for a few seconds. Take a few ice cubes, drop of apple juice, top up with the champagne. But adding the champagne in here like this, you've got the cider, you've almost got the three principal products of the Normandy area. You haven't got to have different tastes fighting, and that's another reason why, amongst many others, should never mix two alcohols together. Don't mix cognac with whiskey, with vodka, with whatever, because then you get two base alcohols, and it's like having two heavyweight boxers, both as good as, because whiskey is no better than cognac, is no better than them. They're all marvellous things, but they end up clashing and fighting for dominance at the bottom of that glass. And we ought to talk about the elegance of drinking, because drinking cocktails is a question of culture, knowledge and elegance.
When I grew up as a young boy in a hospitality family. My dad was a chef. He came out here in 1960. I grew up in and out of kitchens as a young lad from the age of about 6 or 7 on school holidays and weekends and things like that. And I vowed never to become a chef. But as soon as I turned 15, I decided that I wanted my independence, and I felt comfortable in a kitchen, so that's where I ended up. And I've never looked back. I absolutely love it.
Well, I caught the bug from my father and my auntie and, well, my whole family. Because
Sounds like a disease.
well, it is a little bit at times.
It gets under your skin,
it
doesn't
does.
it?
It does. It's hard to get rid of it once you've got it. You can't help it. You get absorbed by it. It becomes an obsession. Like all good things, all good careers, I suppose you get obsessed by it a little bit.
The good thing is that you enjoy it. You've got to enjoy it.
Oh,
You can't do this job unless you're really enjoying it.
It's a very passion-fueled career.
I think you know, the people of Melbourne love lifestyle, and it reflects in the street. You walk down any city street these days, and it reflects in the bars, in the cafes. You know, there's art shows on all the time. We've got fantastic theatre happening all the time. It's just a fun town. It's always erupting with laughter and people having a good time. It's a city made up still, fortunately, of very many different strips, and you're outdoors. You're walking around, you're feeling the atmosphere of a city, and that gives, I believe, a city a real unique kind of character. And the food's great too.
Sort of just soak up the culture and the vibe of everything, walk around and go to the Victoria Market and places like that on a Tuesday and just soak up the smells and the sounds and all the lovely little delectables that they have on offer there. That's one of my favourite places on a Tuesday.
One of the best markets in the world.
It is the best market in the world, so yeah, I love it.